सभी साथियों को मेरा प्यार भरा नमस्कार। In this video, we will be taking the new topic ahead of the redemption of debentures. The topic is interest on debenture. How to treat interest on debentures. So first of all, let's have a look into some important points which is mentioned in the left hand side. As you can see, the first point says it is calculated at a fixed rate on its nominal or face value. Second point, the rate of interest is prefixed to the debenture. The interest, third point, the interest may be payable at quarterly, half yearly or yearly. So if it is asked in the question to calculate the interest on debentures yearly, then we will calculate it for a year, 12 months, right? If it is said to calculate it for half yearly, that means we will be taking 6 months. And if it is says quarterly, so 1 quarter is equal to 3 months. So in this way we have 4 quarters. 3 months, each quarter consists of 3 months. In this way we have 4 quarters in a year. Then interest on debenture is charged against profit. Interest payment may be subject to tax deducted at source. So TDS is a tax which government imposed when your interest amount, say for if it goes above 10,000 in a year, then the tax is deducted at an advance. So that advance deduction of income, that is called TDS. That amount which is deducted in advance shall deposited into the government's account. So this is TDS. It's a tax which is imposed by the government in advance on your income. Sixth point, the balance in debenture interest account is transferred to statement of profit and loss at the end of the year. The amount of interest which you have calculated on debenture, finally it is to be transferred to the statement of profit and loss account. Seventh point, if the amount of interest accrued and due is not paid, it is known as interest accrued and due and interest outstanding. So if your amount of interest accrued and due, it is not paid, if you have not paid the amount which is due, so that will become interest accrued, alternatively due interest or interest outstanding. The last point, interest accrued is shown under head current liabilities under subheading other current liabilities. Okay, so if your interest has become outstanding which is yet to be paid, not paid, if it's yet to be paid, so it has to be shown under the other current liabilities, that will come under current liabilities under liabilities side. So this is the basic points regarding interest on debenture. Let's have a quick revision. Interest on debenture is always calculated on the nominal value, that or face value. Interest rate is prefixed. It may be payable quarterly, half yearly or yearly as the question say, as the question demands. Then interest on debenture is the charge against profit. That means whether you earn, your business is having, your company is having profit or not, it doesn't matter. Interest on debenture has to be charged. Okay. Interest on payment may be subject to TDS. If it goes above the certain limit as per the government prescribed limit, then TDS will be deducted, tax deducted at source. The balance in debenture interest finally at the end of the year gets transferred to the statement of profit and loss account. And if the interest is due, it will be named as interest accrued or due interest or interest outstanding, which will be shown under current other current liabilities, that is under current liabilities, which is in the liabilities side of the balance sheet, that is the left hand side. Now let's have a look into the accounting entries. When interest is due and tax is ignored, the first entry, interest debenture interest account or interest on debenture. Alternatively, you may write interest on debentures account debited to debenture holders. The second entry, when interest is due and tax is deducted at source. Say for if your interest amount is going above the prescribed limit as per the government, then tax TDS has to be deducted. In that case, if the TDS is due, what entry you shall pass? Debenture interest account debited to debenture holders account to TDS payable. The same entry, right? But here the TDS is become payable, therefore you have to mention to TDS payable account. When interest is paid, debenture holders account debited to bank account. When TDS is deposited in government's account, then tax TDS payable debited to bank account. And last one, transfer of interest of to statement of profit and loss at the end of the year. Statement of profit and loss account debited to debenture interest account. So in total we have to pass 5 entries, right? When interest is due, then debenture interest, alternatively interest on debentures account debited to debenture holders. When your TDS becomes due, the debenture interest account debited to debenture holders to TDS payable. When interest is paid, debenture holders account debited to bank. When TDS is deposited in government's account, TDS payable debited to bank account. And transfer of interest to statement of profit and loss account, the entry will be statement of profit and loss account debited to debenture and interest account. So let's apply these entries into a numerical, so to get the more insight in the concept. Like as you can see the question, X Limited issued 15,000 debentures, okay, 10%, they are carrying 10% rate of interest. Nominal value is 100 rupees on 1st of April. According to the terms, interest is payable on half yearly basis. Okay, so as we have seen in the earlier note that interest may be charged yearly, half yearly or quarterly. So it is mentioned in the question, it is charged, it has to be charged half yearly. So let's have a look into the working note first. 15,000 debentures is there, multiplied with the face value, because interest always calculated on nominal value or face value. So 15,000 multiplied with 100, that gives you 15 lakh. Then 10% of 15 lakh is 1,50,000. Since the question says the interest has to be calculated half yearly, so 6 divided by 12, that represents your 6 month, right? So when you cancel out, you will get 75,000 your interest amount. Now let's have a look into the entry. First, we are due entry, interest, debenture interest account debited to debenture holders account. You must remember the date, because this is the issued on 1st of April, right? If you calculate 6 months from 1st of April, you will end up in like April, May, June, July, August, September. So September will be the 6th month. So debenture, here the debenture interest account debited to debenture holders account, being interest due 75,000. In this question, we shall assume that there is no TDS. If TDS would have been here, it would have mentioned, right? Now the second entry is payment. So debenture holders account debited to bank. We have credited their interest to them. So therefore interest paid, therefore bank gets credited. Now in 2018, again from there 6 months we will calculate. September, till September we have given, then October, November, December, January, February and March. So 31st March is the next 6 months. So debenture holders account debited with the same amount, 75,000. Then at the end of the year, because our year gets end in 2018, it's the 1st April 2017, the financial year will ends up in 31st March 2018. So at the end of the year we have to calculate, we have to transfer this amount into statement of profit and loss account. So as you can see the entry, statement of profit and loss account debited to debenture interest account. So in total in this year we have paid total debenture interest is 1,50,000, which has been transferred to the statement of profit and loss account at the end of the year. So you must mention the dates very carefully. If the question says 6 months, so you have to calculate and fill the dates accordingly.